Long-term care can be a critical tool in protecting your parents' assets. For example, most long-term care will include the requirement for 2 or 3 what are called ADLs, or activities of daily living. So it'd be things like bathing, dressing, transferring, incontinence, those kinds of activities that a senior may need help with. And they're required to live in a certain level of community in order to activate their long-term care. But the truth is, it can be very complex and cumbersome trying to activate a long-term care. There are medical interviews that would be required for your parent. There are all kinds of paperwork that needs to get filled out, and it can be very complex. But it is an incredible instrument in protecting your parents' assets as they age. I have one client. When I first met her, her stepson had told her that she could not afford to live in the independent retirement community she was in. She was in a very high-end, very lovely community. Well, I came in, talked to her, found out in fact she could afford that community, but in the course of my discussion with her, I found out that not only did she have a long-term care policy, she'd purchased one, she didn't know where it was, and we had to go to John Hancock and get the policy, but she also had been in the military herself from 1950 to 1956. So if her assets ever get spent down enough, she'll have VA benefits as well. We made some changes in where she lived and were able to qualify her, and she's now saving $56,000 a year that's not coming out of her assets, but instead being paid by John Hancock, her long-term care provider. We actually have written a short report, Thinking Ahead to Long-Term Care. If you'll leave your contact information, we'll go ahead and send you that report. And if you have some specific questions, you can send them to info@thethriving.senior.com. Hope this was helpful. Take care.